The Carnegie Library building is located at 320 East Avenue. It was built in 1908. In 1907, word was received that funds for the library had been granted by Carnegie. The general contract was granted in July of 1907 and awarded to Johnson and Nelson of Red Wing for $4,971. Andrew Carnegie immigrated to the United States as a child from Scotland and made his fortune in the U.S. steel industry. By the time he died, he had given 90% of his fortune to charities and foundations. In 1877, long before the Carnegie Library was built, the village of Zumbrota incorporated, and the library was named the Free Public Library. It was supported by a 1 mill tax. It was the first tax-supported library in Minnesota. It was because of this that Andrew Carnegie donated $6,500 to build the library. The unusual condition that a sum equal to 10% of that amount was to be given annually by the village to support the library was stipulated in his agreement. James H. Farwell, who was the mayor of Zumbrota, requested the funds from Carnegie. The story is that 3 letters were sent. When the first 2 letters went unanswered, N.T. Wedge suggested sending a 3rd letter with a stamped, self-addressed envelope enclosed. This is the letter that was returned with his request. James Farwell served as mayor of Zumbrota until 1910. In May of 1908, the smallest Carnegie Library in the state was completed. Shelves and bookcases, tables, and other items were donated or constructed by volunteers in the community. All Carnegie libraries were simple but formal. There was always a staircase which welcomed patrons through a prominent doorway. This symbolized a person's elevation by learning. A light hung over the door, which was a symbol of enlightenment. On May 7, 1924, City Hall, which was located next to the library, burned. There was considerable damage done to the library and its contents. The cost of damages was estimated at $2,250. The vault from the burned City Hall was stored in the basement of the library, and it remains there today. Zumbrota librarians included Miss Elsie von Kampen, who was the first librarian at the Carnegie Library. Miss Hattie Marvin, pictured below, earned a degree from the University of Minnesota. There were many other notable librarians who worked hard to cultivate a literary culture. Ms. Jeannie Johnson was the last librarian at the Carnegie Library. Miss Elsie Woodbury Johnson became librarian and served in that position for many years. She was also a painter and would display her paintings in the library. This painting was displayed at Christmas time. Community support was evident in many ways. National Book Week was observed. The Tourist Club met regularly at the library and donated needed items. Mrs. E.B. Rockney wrote a weekly column in the Zumbrota News, The Mouse in the Corner, in hopes to interest people in new and old books held in the library collection. A bathroom was added to the lower level in 1921. This was sponsored and maintained by the community club. In 1954, school books previously held in the Carnegie Library were moved to the school. This was called Operation Big Switch. High school students moved 3,000 volumes to the new school library. In 1995, the building was sold. It changed hands several times. Today, the Carnegie Building is occupied by Crossings at Carnegie, an art and cultural center business that includes an art gallery, music concerts, speakers, and offers a variety of classes. It is owned by Marie Marvin. This information is provided by the Zumbrota Historic Walking Tour. We hope you enjoyed the tour.